Well, I'm getting married today, and I think I'd take advantage to make a quick video about nerves. Feeling nervous, how to deal with it, maybe clear up some misconceptions you have about it. I think guys get told a lot that we have to be very stone cold and get told like we have to bury our emotions down deep in order to just be able to like deal with things, which, fine and dandy, that's good. It's admirable to be like, handling things, but to be courageous, to be a good example, someone to follow, you cannot deny your feelings. You have to confront them head on, because otherwise they'll still be there and you'll probably lash out or act out in some certain way. Me, myself, I get grouchy when I'm nervous, so it's really obvious when I am. Other people I've seen will like start to get clumsy. They'll start to get like very sweaty. So by denying your feelings, you've essentially solved nothing, basically is what I'm saying. And I'll be open about mine too. I was pretty nervous leading up to the wedding, had a lot of reactions to it. And for some reason today, I feel very clear-headed because I thought a lot about it leading up to the wedding. And I realized that, okay, well, I'm in charge here. I'm the one in charge of my life in this event. I'm going to go ahead and just, pedal to the max. Let's go. Let's deal with it. This is actually exactly like me playing a show, is what I've come to realize, where I get this buildup, the anticipation, really of just wanting to play, aka just, go ahead and go up there, go on stage, clear the event. And then once I've actually hit the day of, I realized that, wait a second, I have nothing to be nervous about because I'm prepared. Does that mean it's guaranteed to it's going to go swimmingly? It's all going to go peachy cream? No, it doesn't really, anything could happen, but I know that I've done on my part to not only confront my own feelings about it, but, being able to prepare means that you can just anticipate scenarios and it becomes less and less of an unknown and you're able to deal with it more efficiently. So again, today's my wedding. I've got some stuff to handle. So let's get into some strategies for being able to handle the nerves. Okay, so here we are, one marriage later. Let's talk about I think we left off at strategies for dealing with nervousness. In order to explain these strategies, I'll use the same example I did of like when I play a show. What are the two easiest ways that you're going to overcome, maybe the only ways that you're going to overcome stage fright? Number one, which is king for lots of things in life, is just being prepared, getting ready. You'd be surprised at the amount of times that I've come to realize that I'd be so nervous about something, I'd be like anticipating it, dreading it, that I would just spend time in my own head thinking all these like negative feelings versus just like, have you taken any sort of precaution? Step one, you'll find that most of the time, it's really honestly like, if you look at it completely neutrally, in order to get ready for things that are coming, it's almost like a lot of tiny little like painless steps, really. But a real easy trap to fall into is the idea of like, I'm dreading that it's coming, so then I've decided that like I'm just gonna go full like Mother Nature and not prepare for it and we'll just see how it goes. We're gonna wing it. Which, could you imagine, like you get up on stage, they're asking you to play this song on the guitar and you maybe have practiced it once or like not at all. It's like, well, of course you're going to be on stage nervous. The most confident man in the world is gonna know that he's gonna be up there not knowing a single thing about what he's doing, and everyone's going to be able to tell. Similarly, if you were to do different levels of it, like, okay, well, maybe you did actually practice. You practiced just enough to get it to sound decently, then your results will speak for themselves. Maybe you're not up there killing it, but you're also up there like, okay, well, he's, not coming in completely, like, it's like out of the blue, like, yeah, this guy definitely did not practice. Or if you really sit down, you make time, you're patient, you're analytical, and you decide like, let me strategize this for real. It's like, let's actually break this problem down into more manageable pieces if I have to, but let's actually not wait until not wait until, judgment day is here. And how are we going to overcome this? For most things, like when you're up there on the stage, you've practiced your ass off, you've thought of like, well, what if this happens? Maybe I'll break a string on stage. So what would I do if that happens? That kind of stuff. All will just like, I guess, like build up in order to build your confidence in tackling this event. So at the very least, if you yourself, like internally you're nervous and stuff, you at least know that, well, I did my part, I'm prepared, I'm anticipating XYZ situation. I know that at the very least, like I'm going to be able to recompose myself. So there shouldn't be anything here that like, will really scare me. The other reason people get nervous, it comes to do with and you might have heard this all the time, our good friend anxiety. It's all it really is. It's an anxiety, it's a worry of a future event that has not occurred yet. I dug into it a little bit just now with the whole negative thinking in, which is like, okay, so let's say you're prepared, you know that you're ready, but you're still just scared and you're worried about XYZ, or what if this went this way, or any other thing. When I do with these things, I'll take a deep breath and think to myself, you know what, at the end of the day, I really am not in control of anything. You know, anything could go in any sort of direction at any time. So it's almost kind of like, it's not worth your energy, your effort to stress about these things that are not in your control. This is not to invite failures or to invite energy of things going wrong. It's just you're being honest with yourself so you can let go of scenarios. You can let go of this narrative that you're saying in your head. Can you imagine if every time you got into the car in order to drive to the store, you thought about like, well, statistically, I'm likely to get into this type of accident, and statistically, I'm likely, you know, to catch this disease on the way to the store. It's like not the best way to live life, I would say. And so I know those examples are really exaggerated, but this can also happen with all sorts of things, you know, like I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to do it because I know that this is going to happen, right? This happened before, so it's guaranteed to happen again. It's like, but do you really know that that's going to be the result that you're going to get? As a matter of fact, typically what tends to happen is that when we speak about the results that we're going to get, good or bad, that tends to be actually what happens. It's almost like the universe is like, okay, you want this to fail? By thinking that over and over again that it's going to fail and saying out loud that you're nervous that it's going to fail, you're more than likely going to get a big old congratulations of just like, yep, this is the result that you attracted, so here you go, you asked for it, no? And so you have to practice these moments. You have to practice also catching this negative thinking, this downward spiral of like scenarios and stories that haven't occurred yet, and practice catching those the exact moment when you find yourself thinking like, wait a second, hold on. Okay, what's actually going on right now, this moment? Whatever thing that I'm worried about, like what's actually going on? Like hit pause on the movie, all around me at this moment, not what's happened already, not what's going to happen, what is going on right now. And really do your best to take yourself out of the scenario and just be very, very neutral about things. Just take a deep breath and think like, okay, well, here's how much time I have left leading up to the event. Here's what I have currently on me. Here's what I can work with. Let me think about maybe what's possible, you know, what's possible last minute, what's possible to do with some time, what's possible to do with maybe not rushing it, working fast but not rushing it, and where should I start, basically, because none of those things that you're imagining in your head have even occurred yet. So you want to free up as much real estate as possible, because to have all this stress and anxiety on you, and I know I've heard a lot of like, you need medication for it, or you need, you know, certain like exercises for it, which I guess it could be true for certain people. You know, I guess, you know, some people have it strong, but I think for most people, if you're looking for an exercise to get over it, go do a workout or something like that. Get your freaking like brain chemicals going, because other than that, you don't need a medication. I think for most people, it's just you need to start to realize that you're the one that's in control and you're the one that's hurting yourself. There's no way that you're going to get the creativity to get yourself like either out of the situation or to get yourself through the future situation if all of your energy, if all your creativity is dedicated towards just being stressed and carrying this debt, carrying this like mental weight of like, oh my God, here it comes. And it's like I said earlier, just barreling through it without thinking about your emotions is not the answer either. Because what happens then is a fortunate little case of like, it's going to keep coming in a more difficult version, or it's like you'll encounter it again later on and it's going to have some type of flavor to it that you weren't expecting, and it's going to just completely like demolish you. Or you're going to develop some really nasty habits of how you process difficult situations, which are not great. They take a long time to root out of you, trust me. So you want to just make sure that, hey, like, it's not the end of the world. You're not in control of most things, pretty much everything except like your own thinking, more or less. And the fact that you are a remarkable problem solver, and you have, I guarantee you, enough time, enough resources, enough energy to dedicate towards handling the thing that you're nervous about, but you're not going to be able to see it if all you can think about is the multitude of ways that it can go wrong, and the multitude of ways that it's gone wrong, and then the multitude of stories that you're going to tell yourself of like, well, I'm nervous because I don't want to think about it, or because it's gonna this is gonna happen. A meteorite's gonna land on, you know, the cheese. What does that mean? So in summary, just stop labeling yourself and your future events and your actions with these negative terms. Stop making up stories. Stop making up scenarios. Like, be neutral. Be honest, and then just prepare. Preparation. There's a reason why musicians will always refer to it as the number one advice for something like a gig that's in the future. There's no better like remedy towards being able to get up on that stage than practice. There's no way around it, really. So how could that not apply to other things in life? Looking back at my wedding day and how it went and stuff, I can very much clearly like identify the parts where I wish it had gone in a different way, but okay, like, you know, that's an experience that I get to put away for next time, you know, be able to deal with it better next time for sure. It's a growing experience. And I can see also like the beauty in things that were like, okay, that went in a specific way, or maybe it went a little bit cringy, or maybe it was very much like not maybe what people expected, but that's just us, you know, that's just me and my wife, that's how it goes. And I was able to, again, just appreciate all of it, you know, good and bad. And just like my shows, you know, after the first 10-15 minutes or so, I realized, okay, remember, like, go neutral here. You're prepared. All you can control is your energy, really, you know. Deep breath, fix your posture, and let's go. You know, remember this. Eventually, at some point, like once you've overcome your fear of like future events, I guess, your fear of like feeling scared or anxious about like things that you're nervous about, I think you're able to unlock also the ability to look at the past more neutrally. And I just knew in that moment that this was a very remarkable day. And despite it all, anything that might have been painful, anything that might have been like a great time, a sad time, whatever the case, I know that it's going to be a day that I look back on very fondly. So a little bit of a different video. Hopefully that wasn't too rambly. I tried to focus solely on games. That's, I think, kind of the direction I've been wanting to head into anyways. It's a lot of fun, and I feel like people seem to like it. I like talking to people about it, so don't mind me. But cool, guys. Like, marriage was a lot of fun. Or sorry, my wedding was a lot of fun. Though marriage is a lot of fun too, but that's obviously an ongoing thing, so that's a little bit different. But in any case, we'll get to hopefully some more gaming videos soon. I'm always here to help. Also too, I like doing like these little more fun chat advice, I don't know what you want to call them, type of videos, but these are also a good time. I'm hoping that if you really need to hear these words, or maybe just part of it, or you wanted to mix it with some other advice you got and it worked for you, that makes me happy, you know. And you're always welcome to leave any questions or any other concerns or whatever that you may have, and I'll see if I'm able to answer them for you. But I invite you to like the video. If that's the case, very welcome to subscribe. That's kind of what we're about, gaming and talking to each other, I guess. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. I am out of here. My first day as a newlywed. Think I might make a video about that too. We'll see, I don't know. But yeah, I would recommend marrying your best friend if you should have the opportunity.